This radio program is PG-13. Parents strongly caution some material may be inappropriate for children under the age of 13.
The following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Phoenix, Arizona, Brother Mike is back on the radio. Welcome to KXXT Christian Radio. Welcome to HardcoreChristianity.com. Welcome to the Arizona Deliverance Center. Welcome to the nastiest Christian radio broadcast in the entire country. You're going to get the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. We don't care who likes it. Today's Bible study, the first church of lust, today on Hardcore. This is Brother Mike. I'm the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center. Been a counselor for over 45 years, if you can believe it. We have all kinds of services at the Deliverance Center that will allow you to be free of demonic oppression and be physically healed and emotionally cured. We have 2 live services every week, Thursday, Friday nights at 7 o'clock. 3 Zoom services every week, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings. Tuesday is ladies' night at 6:30 p.m. I have a Sunday morning podcast at 9. We have a worship service Saturday at 4:30 where we all get together and singing in tongues. It's really awesome. And we have a monthly healing service. The last Friday of the month is our healing service, and it's going to be flat out awesome. Please come early to get a seat to that one. That is a sellout. The first church of lust. I found it for you, friends. I'll get to it in just a minute. But have you ever desired to go into the ministry or wanted to serve God in some capacity, ministerially? Has that ever been your desire? Well, let me screen you out first to make sure that you are able to do that successfully. And you have to go by the blueprint that the legendary Apostle Paul laid out for us. Couldn't have been any clearer. He numbered it. 1 Timothy chapter 3. Here it is. This is a true saying. If a man desires the office of a bishop, he desires a good work. What is a bishop? An episcopate is a church leader, someone in a leadership position at your church. A bishop, episcopate. It says, a bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife, vigilant and sober, and of good behavior. Okay, that's going to screen out about 80% of everybody. He must be given to hospitality. He must have an aptitude for teaching. He must not be given to wine. He must be no striker. That's somebody who causes conflicts. He must not be greedy of filthy liquor. What is that? That's a money lover, money grubber. He must be patient, not a brawler, not covetous. What does covetous mean? It means someone who is not greedy of material things. And he must be one who rules his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. For if a man does not know how to rule his own house, how's he going to take care of the church of God? Duh. That's one of Apostle Paul's questions that require a duh answer. Then he says something that's extremely interesting. Listen to this. 1 Timothy 3, quote, not a novice. A neophytus is someone who is a rookie or a beginner. Not a novice, lest being lifted up with pride, he fall into the condemnation of the devil. Greek word krima, judgment. Judgment of the devil. Did you know that Satan was able and is able and will be able to judge Christians? Yes, if they fall into pride, Satan can judge them. Then the verse goes on, quote, moreover, he must have a good report of those who are without. What's he talking about there? Those are people that are not at the church, that are outside the church. He must have a good report, a good reputation. lest he fall into the reproach and the snare of the devil. Can you believe that? Lest he fall into reproach. That's the Greek word unaddressed. It means verbal abuse, slander. And the snare, Greek word pagis, a secret trap of the devil. Can you believe that? Does that ever happen at churches? Well, if you've been listening to my program for any period of time at all, I've been doing it now for 25 years. I've been exposing these poor people that get caught in the judgment of Satan and the traps of the devil at the church, these ministers, and here it is again. Come with me, please, to Cincinnati, Ohio. Here we are. We're at the Crossroads Church again. This one's been in the news a few times. They fired Joel Feinbaugh this time, the director of Next Generation Youth Programs. The police contacted the church, and they found out that Brother Joel had been at a local gym in Cincinnati. He set up a secret camera, secretly filming women who were working out without their consent. It happened at the Crunch Fitness Center in Oakley. The board found out about it and they freaked. They could not believe it. They instantly got rid of him. They contacted the police department and said, here was the quote, "We're grieved that this occurred, and we are willing to offer any support to those who were harmed." The church said it was the first time they ever had any indication that Feinbaugh was any kind of a pervert or had been involved in other sins. They had no knowledge of any. Of course, they're going to say that, naturally. Well, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's assume they didn't know it, and let's give them credit then for doing something about it. And it says that they are conducting a full investigation to make sure there aren't any other similar incidents in their church. Oh, well, that's only part of it. You know, the pastor Brian Tome, T-O-M-E is his name. It's a mega church with multiple locations. The major church is Crossroads Community Church of Hyde Park. Brian Tome is the pastor. Guess what? He got the axe. He got fired. Can you believe that? Sure. He was suspended because of, quote, inappropriate physical humor during a video shoot. Whoa. What's going on here? Brother Mike, can you explain all this to us, please? I sure can explain it. I've seen it happen hundreds of times over the years. I know exactly what's going on. Here's how it works. In Christianity in America, deliverance was thrown out. Nobody does deliverance at these mega churches. They don't like it. It's too messy. It's too confusing. They get too many complaints over it, and they don't want to lose donors, so they deleted it. They removed it. Well, when they removed it, they started to allow ministers into their systems who had done what I call carryover. They carried over their demons from their old sinful life many years ago into their ministerial life. And since nobody does deliverance, nobody understands deliverance, nobody practices deliverance, these ministers don't know they're infected. Now, none of them are possessed, because a born-again Christian can't be possessed by demons. That's not possible, but they can be infected, kind of like having the flu. You're not the flu, but if you're infected with the flu and it goes away, you are no longer sick with the flu. Well, the same thing is true with demons and Christians. You can be infected with them, but not possessed by them. You could have a demon in your body or your brain causing a mental or physical illness, but that doesn't mean you're a born-again Christian who is possessed. Born-again Christians cannot be possessed. Well, here you got two people, one of the youth pastors and the pastor of the church themselves, Crossroads, having two pastors on staff heavily infected with demons, and nobody knows about it. They didn't even know about it because nobody teaches deliverance and nobody practices it. So what happens is, as Paul explained, these people got filled with pride. They thought they could get away with their sin and keep it hidden. And the devil caught them and judged them. And then the devil reproached them. He reproached them. It's that simple, just exactly what Paul said. They fell into a snare, a pagis, a trap they didn't see coming. And it says they fell into reproach and a snare of diabolos, Satan. And then after that, they were reproached, verbally castigated. Their reputations were destroyed. Gossip flew all over the place because of them. They were destroyed in the court of public opinion. This is exactly what Paul said was going to happen. This is exactly why he outlined this list for bishops. Anybody who's in a leadership role in the church has to meet these requirements. 1 Timothy chapter 3, copy these down and give them to your pastor and your church board and make sure every one of them follows this criteria. And if the church does not have deliverance and don't understand deliverance, they need to send them over to me at the Arizona Deliverance Center. We will not keep them, but we will send them through deliverance, and then we will ship them back to you. If you do not live in Arizona, you can contact me by phone, 602-636-5800. You can send me an email, mike@hardcorechristianity.com. The last thing you want to do is go into your ministry, develop an anointing, develop giftings, and then fall into the reproach and the snare and the judgment of the devil because you didn't get rid of your demons and you transferred them from your old life into your new life in the ministry. If you need help, please call today, 602-636-5800. You can be free and stay in the ministry. See you next time.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.